Hi guys, today I'll be giving you guys a review for the Unit 4 Lesson 6 through 11 assessment. In those lessons, we talked about applying percentages, or where do we see percentages at in real life settings, which is taxes, tips, gratuity, which is tips, and we talked about commission. All right, so let's get started with this review. And if you guys have any questions about those lessons or this review, always feel free to refer to your manager's Google Meet session. Okay, so let's get started. A worker at the zoo calculates the amount of fish in pounds needed in the weekly diet of an eagle and a bear. The eagle eats 6 pounds of food each week, and 60% of that weight must be fish. The bear eats 105 pounds of food each week, and 25% of that must be fish. Part 8 is asking us for the total amount of fish in pounds that the eagle and bear should eat each week. Round your answer to the nearest hundred of a pound. All right, so before we go to Part B, I want to work on Part 8. They're asking what's the total amount of fish in pounds that the eagle and the bear should eat each week. So notice that it didn't tell us that the eagle eats 6 pounds of fish. It says 6 pounds of food, and it says 60% of that must be fish. It says the bear eats 105 pounds of food each week, and 25% of that must be fish. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, you guys know, neat notes make the best notes. Write one side for the eagle, one side for the bear. Okay? So, the total amount of food the eagle eats each week, which I'll be using the proportion tables for both. All right? Remember, it's part over whole equals 2% over 100. So, this is going to be 6. We don't know what's the part just yet that's supposed to be fish, but we know that it's 60%, and then we know it's 100, and then for the bear, we know that the whole is the total. The whole is basically the total amount of, food they eat each week, and 25% is going to go over 100. I really don't need those percent symbols, but I just want to show you guys that, hey, that is the percent. All right. So you guys know the method I like to use. I call it the high hill method because I cross multiply and I divide by the number in the box. Okay, so for my first answer, how much does the eagle eat? How much of fish does the eagle eat? Not how much, which is 6 times 60 divided by 100. And that is going to be 3.6 pounds of fish. Okay. And then for the bear eats, which I'm going to multiply 105 times 25, and I'm dividing by 100. And let me double check my answer. And guys, I am using a calculator at home. So it's going to be 26 pounds and 25 hundredths. Okay. 26 and 2,500 pounds. Okay, so when I look at the questions they're asking, what is the total amount that the fish, what is the total amount that the eagle and the bear eats? I'm sorry about that. So the eagle eats 3 6/10 pounds of fish, and the bear eats 26 and 2,500 pounds of fish. So what I want to do with these totals, or the amount of fish they eat, is that I want to take these two and I want to, can you guess? Add them together. You guys are geniuses. All right, so what I want to do is add those together. And they're telling us to round to the nearest hundred of a pound. So it's going to be 29. And it will be 29.85 pounds. Okay. Now I'm going to write this down there. LB stands for pounds. Okay, so you guys will be wondering at home, what does that LB represent? No, that represents pounds. It's abbreviation. All right. And it says round to the nearest hundred of a pound. And guys, there's nothing there, so we'll leave it the answer as is. Okay. Now, they said the zoo increases the amount of food that the bear eats each week to 115 pounds. What is the percent increase in the amount of food that the bear eats each week? So they're looking for the percent increase. Okay. So there's two ways we could do this. All right. We could actually take the numerical, the numbers and subtract them to find out, well, what's the quantity? How much did they increase, right? And here's what I mean. The bear ate 105 pounds of food each week, and then they increased it to 115 pounds. You could subtract that, and they increased it by 10 pounds. Well, that is the increase. Okay? So you could actually take it and be like, okay, 10 over, what's the original amount? What amount you think I'm going to use? You think I'm going to use 105 or 115? I would use 105 because that's the original amount. It's looking for the percent, so the percent is missing. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to cross multiply. I want to divide by the number in the box. And it said round your percent to the nearest tenth. So just like I told you guys at home, I'm using my calculator. So 10 times 100 divided by 105. And it says rounded to the nearest tenth. And here's what I'm getting in my calculator. 9.5238095. And it wants us to round it to the nearest tenth. And that 2 is not big enough to round that 5 up. So it will be about 9.5%. Okay. Here's a different method. You could say, okay, the original amount was 105, and then they increased it to 115. We are missing the percent. I will cross multiply, divide by the number in the box. And like I said, I'm using my calculator at home. So let me do that, double check again. So okay, and here's what you should get at the top. For the percent increase, you'll get 109.5, and you'll get the same decimal repeat. But look at it. How much over is that 9.5? Well, how much over is that 109.5 or 109.5? Then 10 is be 9.5, much bigger than 100. Okay, so that's just a different way you could have found it. But I think I prefer this method because right here is because it's a little bit more direct than the other method. All right. So if you had any questions about this problem, make sure you visit your manager's Google Meet session, and I'll see you guys in the next problem.